Hello, welcome to Crosscultural with Bola. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button and be a part of this conversation. To my regulars, God bless you for sticking it out with me and welcome to this conversation today. The workplace is very diverse. A lot of us have jobs in different spheres of life, hospitals, schools, restaurants, and all the different places in society. And for some reason, because of the diversity in our workplaces, this gives room to conflict. I was having a conversation with a friend the other day who does not like the advice of being called K at work when her name is Koinsola. I mean, K sounds nice, but Koinsola sounds better. So today I want to discuss a few ways by which we can avoid these conflicts in the workplace. They are not inevitable at all. And I think the solution to these issues that we have in the workplace is to address them at the front end so that we have a basic understanding as we go. So that if people step on your toes, you can refer to a conversation you had early on saying, hey, remember we had this conversation at this time. I would appreciate it if you can handle this matter differently and stuff like that. One sore point that I see for a lot of immigrants especially is their names. You know, you get to work, your name is Kai or Dede, they'll rather call you K. Your name is Shubu, they will call you Sue, you know, those kind of things. And yes, we need to be understanding that people don't want to offend and they will rather do something that is very comfortable. But I think a way to handle that is to educate them, teach them how to pronounce your name. Tell them, hey, my name is Omobolanle, you can call me Bola, and sound it out for them and teach them how to pronounce your name. I have found out that people choose the path of least resistance because they don't want to mess up your name. But if you teach them, I have taught people to pronounce Omobolanle and they pronounced it very well by just sounding it out for them. So if you're having issues at work because they don't pronounce your name, you need to do that. Don't just get upset with them and say, oh, you can pronounce Schwarzenegger, you can pronounce Tuscaloosa, you can't pronounce Omobolanle. No, that's not the attitude. Let's just, be nice about it. Teach them how to pronounce your name and, you will be fine. Another thing that I've seen is when we're doing potluck and everybody brings their food and you bring your jollof rice or you bring your pounded yam or amala, gbegiri and ewedu and they're like, I really don't know if I want to try this, and you feel offended. I don't think that's something to be offended about. I have taken food to my work on a number of times. And what I do, it's important for us to understand that people have allergies, people are not too sure how they react to specific food and all that. So it's important for us to write out the ingredients in the food. Tell them it's just rice, some tomato sauce and stuff like that so they know. And then let them know it's not spicy. A lot of them don't like spice. So that's one of the reasons why they don't try food. So if you take food to work, let them know what's in the food. Let them know what the ingredients are. Explain what cassava is to them. Explain yams and stuff like that. When they know what the food contains, they are more likely to try out your food and all that. But let me say this. If you are from the part of Nigeria, of Africa, which I am from, please don't take anything that has stockfish to work. When you put it in the microwave, it just deodorizes the entire place and everybody wants to run out of the office. I know you're used to the smell of stockfish, you're used to the smell of crayfish and all that. They are not. So we need to be sensitive with stuff like that. Make sure you take food to work that is less likely to ruffle feathers. I think, it's part of the give and take that we should have in society. Another thing is speaking our language. We need to be very careful with that. the workplace should not be a threatening environment. It should be a place where we're comfortable, but we should also be sensitive to the people around us. If you sit down at work and you're on your cell phone and you're doing speaking all this language, it makes people around you a little uncomfortable. Typically, when I used to work in a place where I had people around me, especially when I was, doing my graduate program and I was sitting in an office with so many people, when my mother called, I would tell them, oh, it's my mom, and I'll run out of the office. And then after a while, they would actually tell me and say, no, Bola, it's okay. I like the way it sounds when you're talking. So at least they know. So it's important for us to not make people feel uncomfortable because we want to be comfortable. We should be sensitive to the fact that people don't understand the language. And sometimes the way we talk, we Africans especially, we're a little loud. And for some reason, when we're talking seriously, people kind of think we are angry, even when we are not angry. So the way we talk and the way we raise our voices can make people around us a little uncomfortable or wondering what's going on. Is there a problem and stuff like that? So we need to be very sensitive to that and, speak if you have to speak your dialect, a different language from English, either tell people around you or step aside so that you don't make others uncomfortable. I think that makes for good relationship in the workplace. Also, something I've had a problem with also is the way I pronounce words. And people would tell me, oh, is that what you're saying? And, I have had to tell people and say, hey, I'm British. I was brought up under the British system of education. So I don't do it anymore. I used to write honor with a U. I used to write color with a U. And of course, my pronunciation and stuff like that is British mixed with my Nigerian heritage and all that. And, it can be a bit annoying when people comes to you, you're talking and people constantly say, huh? I didn't hear what you said. What was that? What are you trying to say? And all that. And you pronounce it. And then they pronounce it for like, oh, I see. So I typically tell them, I said, look, if I, coming from Africa, wherever you think I'm coming from, can listen to you and understand what you're saying, I think you need to make the effort also to understand what I'm saying. Everybody has an accent, whether you're American, you're British, you're whatever, you have an accent. So I am dealing with your own accent, you have to deal with mine. So I am not saying, talking about food, talking about all that. I'm not saying you should suck up to people and pretend that you're who you're not. No, you need to put your foot down and assert yourself and let people know that because you speak with an accent does not mean that you're not smart. And that, like I tell people here, if you move from here and you go to France, you immediately become an illiterate because you don't speak French. So the fact that I speak English with an accent, in actual fact, is a plus. For me, because I come in here, I have an accent, I understand it. You don't understand, what does that say about you? But, let's put that aside. We're in the workplace. We want to be collegial. We want to work as a team and all that. So it's very important that we don't take offense when people do that, but we assert ourselves and give people an opportunity to get to know us, to get to understand how we speak and realize that they have an accent too. I think that's an important thing to put out there early on, like, hey, I tell them I have this beautiful Nigerian accent that you guys have to get used to. And, I'm going to make an effort to make it easier for you to understand, but you also have to train your ears to understand me when I talk. So it has to be both ways. It's not just me trying to, we all have to just, be there to accommodate each other. We really have to. Okay, the final thing I want to talk about is the way we dress. Okay, most Africans are brought up to be very formal. You're going to work, you have work clothes, you have play clothes and stuff like that. In every place where I have worked, people have always looked at me like, oh, you are always so well dressed. And I tell them, well, this is it. I'm going to work. We dress formally to work and stuff like that. But I think it's important for us to speak the language of our environment. So if you work in a place where it's a dress down kind of thing, adapt. I'm not saying be lax or just wear, anything. No. But if you work in a place where they dress down, you don't need to wear a suit all the time. You can just do a shirt and pants or skirt and a blouse or something like that, or a nice simple dress and all that. So I think we should adapt to where we are. It helps, it makes for good, work environment and work culture and all that. But above all, I think it's very important for us to be accommodating. Let's not be too quick to jump to conclusion, to make judgments and all that. Just like you are trying to understand your colleagues, they are trying to understand you too. And we both have to do whatever it is that we can to make our work environment very, very cordial. Pray for your colleagues. Every one of us needs prayers. Every one of us is going through one thing or the other. So make an effort to get to know your colleagues, to get to be friendly, and you will have a nice time at work. God bless you. Have a good week.